Hi, I'm in a bit of a crisis here. You see this console? I recently called Nintendo specifically telling them that I would only buy this thing if it was small enough to fit into my pocket, and I was met with a resounding,
"Are you high?"
Well, I am from Denver. So, here I am hitting it with a hammer, just hoping to see something will happen with it. Well, look at that.
The Nintendo Game Boy. What a nifty little device. Countless hours were spent under the blankets trying to get the perfect lighting to play some games when I knew I probably shouldn't have been playing them in the first place. Back then, in the early 80s, video games were designed for home entertainment purposes only. But then someone thought,
you know what? I want to take this with me.
The idea of portable gaming isn't a new one. In fact, the idea of being able to take a game anywhere with you is something that companies have already experimented with, like with the Tiger electronic handhelds and the Game & Watches. While these weren't too complex, they gave mankind a good taste of what portable gaming could be like.
If we were able to make our bathrooms portable, then certainly we could make our pointless little electronical video games portable as well, and Nintendo couldn't agree more.
After their works with the Game & Watch, Gunpei Yokoi wanted to simulate this experience of playing a portable NES. Just not like this. So after some time developing the system, we were introduced to the Game Boy, an 8-bit portable console. With the launch of the Game Boy in Japan on April 21st, 1989, with North America following behind 3 months later, and Europe waiting more than a year after, we were given a lovely launch of 6 games. Not a bad little lineup. We got Alleyway, Baseball, Super Mario Land, Tennis for Americans because God knows America loves their tennis, Tetris, and Japan getting their elusive Mahjong game.
This fat boy took the world by storm back when it released, and this is deservingly so. While Japan missed out for a little bit, the PAL and North American regions were immediately blessed with the craze that was Tetris right at launch on the system. This was a game that everyone played. My mom played this game, my grandma played this game, my great-grandma probably played this game, my great-grandma was probably buried with this game.
This gave the Game Boy a huge universal appeal, attracting people of all ages to the system. Tetris was all some people wanted out of it, but I'm personally more of a Super Mario Land kind of guy. I sunk so many hours into this game. I played this game so much over and over again, just trying to see how much faster I could complete each level.
But these attempts came at a price though. You see, when you turn around the Game Boy here and open up its ass, yikes. As you can see, this buddy is packing a hefty package.
That is right, for the convenience of being able to play these games wherever you wanted, you'll have to place 4 AA batteries into him. Like, damn, you greedy bastard. And these batteries didn't last too long either. It drained these batteries more than my sanity during politics.
Mom or Dad, and you couldn't even speak to them. You had a nurse holding a phone up so you could, in fact, say goodbye.
You would have lost far more people. Far more people. And you would have been
and by the way,
you would be playing on a car trip and I was almost done with Donkey Kong Land.
And that's exactly why you need one of these.
The Game Boy Battery Pack. The easy way to make a portable console not so portable. But hey, the sucker gave us so much more time to play our lovely games. It was nice to be able to travel a farther distance without having to worry as much. All you have to do is hook up the cord to the headphone jack and bam! Now you can defeat the Kremlin King with no worries.
But there's one thing that I can't fix about this system. You see, in order for the system to work, they had to omit the ability to see color.
This is actually kinda sad. It makes a lot of sense why they did this, as it would take so much more processing power to have the console display in color. So it was better to go with black and white as their scale. Or more so greenish yellow?
I can't be the only one that gets kinda grossed out when I think about the original colors of the Game Boy here. There were just definitely some rooms for improvement, but that's exactly what Nintendo did.
Let me introduce the Game Boy Pocket. This little guy was really neat. It made some major adjustments that were issues on the big boy over here, like the most notable one being he finally shaved off his ass.
Yeah, they actually took off a lot of the bulkiness of the original Game Boy here, making it even more portable than what it already was. They also changed the screen to be more black and white than the greenish yellow that it was before. They changed the battery amount down to just 2, and then on top of that, they made these 2 batteries last significantly longer compared to the original Game Boy, which basically ate them like they were freaking candy. Like, this is some overall good quality of life improvements for the system. But we know Japan here. They can't have something that's really successful without having a good bunch of exclusive stuff.
The Gameboy Light. Now, what was this model's major life improvement? That is right! The Game Boy's backlit now! This is a huge improvement! This made it so much easier to play games anywhere, as you didn't have to play hide and seek with the sun just to catch the right amount of light on your screen, or use some weird third-party light source. All you had to do is turn on the system and BAM! But this was only in Japan.
Of course, this is only exclusive to Japan, but you see, I have a bit of a workaround for that.
The Super Game Boy, the perfect way to defy the portability gods. To be serious, this was actually a pretty cool device. Being able to play these games on your own console on the TV, and also being able to play these games when you're out on the go, was quite a novelty experience. It was definitely worth buying if you had an extensive library for the Game Boy. But this isn't about the Super Game Boy. This is about the Game Boy. Don't worry though, maybe for another time.
Going back to the Game Boy Light, those assholes are always keeping nice exclusive tech for themselves. But fortunately, it didn't really matter this time, as not too long after the release of the Game Boy Light, they ended up releasing the next line in their console, the Game Boy Color.
This was an interesting version of the Game Boy brand, as it was considered the next step in portable gaming by Nintendo at the time. The only thing, it was literally just a Game Boy that played games in color. Like, yeah, some games were a little bit more complex on the color, which is why they had to stay exclusive to the color. But really, looking side by side, the color isn't too much more technologically advanced than the original one here. It just doesn't look too much off compared to the original in its capabilities. Actually, the one cool thing is being able to play your original games in color. It is kinda nice to see these games kinda being done more justice, though they were only able to make them appear in 4 different colors. This is much better than the greenish slime color from before though, so you can't really complain too much.
But this is Nintendo we're talking about! They couldn't stop advancing the Game Boy, so they decided to take one last hoorah with the branding, by releasing the Game Boy Advance.
Now this was the next step forward. You see the name? Yeah, they weren't joking. It's an advanced Game Boy. Look at my Mario! It is impressive how much of a jump this was, from being able to play games similar to the NES, to playing games that were more advanced than a SNES in one console jump. It was truly an impressive feat.
And yeah, this is basically the end of the Game Boy branding here, which is kind of surprising to say. Of course, we got a few different console redesigns after this, like with the Game Boy SP here, which gave us the ability to charge a built-in battery in the system, so we didn't have to worry about stuffing double A's into our systems anymore. It also had a better screen with a better lighting in the back that we could actually see our games when we play the console out on the go. And then, of course, we also got the system that was the Game Boy Micro. I don't have one of these because they're kind of hard to get your hands on, but it's a cool little piece of technology, and it's definitely the most portable of all the systems that I've talked about today. But the only problem that it has is that it can only play Game Boy Advance games, which is really sad. If this console was able to play Game Boy and Game Boy Color games as well, I would probably say it's the most definitive edition of these consoles. Like, it has the best screen, the best lighting, and it's the most crisp of all the systems. It looks so sharp to play the games on this console. But hey, at least you can play your Game Boy Advance games in a really cool way, and it's definitely very, very portable. I'm just not willing to take a console that's worth $100-something on the go like that. I don't even do that with my Switch.
The Game Boy line of systems were truly a great series of handhelds. They brought so many new people into the world of video games, while packing a killer list of titles, like the Super Mario Land games, Link's Awakening, Final Fantasy Legend, Tetris, Kirby, and probably the biggest of them all, Pokemon.
If you couldn't tell, I'm a huge Pokemon fan. I played my fair share of Pokemon games out there, and it still amazes me today that the games got their start on this old fart. But this actually worked for the game's benefit, because you could go around and trade with people using what's called the link cable. You just plug it in right here, plug it into another Game Boy, and then voila, you can trade with anyone around the globe. That was actually a really cool, nifty way to be able to use the Game Boy in different ways. So these games definitely benefited on this console. It really, truly captured the idea of gotta catch them all and the trading aspect that the game brought along with it. And as you can see, so many different kinds of conversations can spark from this system. Many of us alike have made many different memories on this console, and that is just truly an amazing thing. I will always love you, you fat bastard. But you know, I think that's enough gaming on the go for today, as I really want to play some Super Mario Bros. Here and... You disintegrated my NES, you bastard!